Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. It's been a minute. I was out for a bit. I had hurt my back and basically just took a break and feeling better now, doing a bunch of random stuff. Finished up my comic, the one that I've been working on stream. It is done. It's officially done. Don't gotta think about it anymore. The hard stuff wrapped up. So now we have the option of listening to just fantasy music and drawing a regular old night, hanging out, which is really what I would like to do. I need a break from doing comics for a second. But just to show you what I've been up to, here's the first couple pages of the comic if you want to check it out. Looks like this. Hey. And I'll show you the solution I came up with for the word bubbles. This is what it is here. So this is something I'll just throw out to everybody who wants to know a little tip on doing some lettering. So what I do, and I've done this in the past for some stuff, is I take a font that I really like, I type that out, I lower the opacity, and I ink on top of it. So this font, because I like human error a lot, so the font that you see here is my tracing of another font. So it's not always perfect, and I like the kind of haphazard look to it. And I also designed these after silent film cards, which I thought was a decent idea because whenever I make these sort of things, I think of like how I want them to feel. And I think about kind of the idea I initially had of this, which was like you're finding an old comic that always existed that you just never knew about. And I kind of was trying to put myself in the mind of somebody who would be coming from like old media and stepping into the world of comics for the first time. And I feel like the panel layouts reflect that a bit, and just like the overall ornateness and everything. But I figured the only other time they probably would have seen words written out with scenes outside of books would have been like silent film stuff. So I wanted to do something like that just to give it its own feeling. So all of the word bubbles are based off of like silent film stills. But yeah, you can see how this all goes through. But I feel pretty good about it. It all came together and I'm happy with it. So I'll have a Kickstarter for this. I'll fund this book. It'll be basically you'll read the comic itself, and then the next 23 pages will be just the inks of the comic, because that's the way I like my art books. Like I always like the colored stuff, whatever, like this, but at the same time I want to see the inks, so I'm going to be doing that. And then the rest of it is going to be a collection, basically like an art book of everything that I have done for this IP, which is Starvale. When handwriting over another font, do you only do that once for the alphabet or for each text box? For this one, because there's only 23 pages, I did every word bubble. You don't have to do that. I'm so obsessed with the feeling of a thing that like it matters a lot to me that I touch everything in the comic. So that's why it's like that. I did initially just try to do all the handwriting myself, but I wasn't getting the exact feeling I wanted, so that was the best compromise, was just kind of going back to an old approach that I used to do for that sort of thing. So yes, when you're reading this comic and you see the large chunks where they talk, that's all written. Okay, now let's do this mindless stuff that I'm excited to do. I don't have to think. Yay! I don't have to worry about a comic. I can just draw this undead night guy. So I did the sketch in my sketchbook like this, and then I just did like a quick pass over top in Krita, and now I'm going to do some rough defined line work in Clip Studio, and then I'll hop back into Krita and actually like render it out. So you're gonna have to bear with me while I do this boring stuff. It's always easier for me to do the final painting if I have some construction lines in place. As always, feel free to tag me in the chat if you have any questions or comments or anything, and I'll address them as I go. I'm honestly just happy to hang out here and chill out a bit. That's all I want to do. All I want to do. I just want to party. I don't want to hurt nobody. Hey everybody. I think I might need to turn off Photoshop. Thanks, Wigglewood. Riley. What's up with me? Nothing really, it's just my freedom. I'm very happy to have finished that comic. It was a huge weight that I was carrying around for a while. So to have that be checked off the list feels really good. And it's just like a different kind of comic too. It was such a challenge to try and do something that was that detailed and ornate and crazy for every single panel. I mean, even though it's short, just like the sheer amount of work that went into that is pretty gnarly. So, I'm glad to not do that again. At least not right away. happy to have a break and get back to doing Steve Lichman. I was doing Steve with Dan today, and I felt very happy. It's like, this feels nice just to work on Steve. Once I have this whole thing drawn up like this and I have my like details in place, painting over top of this is a lot of fun. It's what I've been doing for my work for Diablo 4. It's the same kind of process, which I haven't documented yet for the Patreon. So I'm looking forward to that because I've learned a lot. Just wait till you see how crazy the latest painting I did for the Blizzard folks is. It's pretty intense. Felt good to get that thing done. I have no idea what kind of weapon this is. I was trying to put together a sketch that I could work on during the stream based on an idea that I had while I was in the middle of working on the Diablo stuff. I was working on that and I was just thinking, I was like, God, I can't wait to get back to just drawing one single individual character chilling, doing nothing. Then I had this picture in my head and I was like, oh, that's what I'll do. Just some dead knight hanging out. That'll be fun. Comedy tears as I saw the Raziel art you did on Instagram, and it was sick as hell. Have you ever played the Legacy of Kain series? Only a little bit when I was a kid. I was more of a fan of just the way everything looked. Is there a Discord community? Yeah, there is through the Patreon. It's just exclusive gamer content. It's only people who are members of the Pig Pen. Kanan says, the quality of art in your book, Dave, is that level of iconic art like that of Grant Morris based on the Mahabharata. Man, you're asking me to say some big words for where my mental state is at right now. But I really appreciate that. I put a lot of work into that, and I feel good about it. So I'm happy. Now I'm just gonna sit here and listen to drolling fantasy music. It's got to be the same thing as is on his helmet for the weapon. I guess he could have a little spear or something. I don't know. We'll see. Hey Dave, I'm trying to montage paintings similar to how you do them. It's a difficult project to try and learn something from it. Do you have any advice? Sure, I do. Block everything out into kind of chunks, and for me, sometimes it's easier to see the whole painting when I kind of focus on individual aspects of it. So sometimes just to actually see what I'm doing, I have to kind of like isolate parts of the image and work on them straight through without like building the whole thing up together. But that's just because where my mind is at, I feel like I get too overwhelmed with really crazy compositions. So I end up working on like individual characters from the montage, just referencing the whole image as I do it. And that usually helps me quite a bit. But yeah, like I have to really segment the whole thing so that I'm not just like looking everywhere all the time trying to solve a million different problems all at once, because they're so overwhelming that like I would much rather do it that way and then piece it all together at the end and then make it all look cohesive than have it be a bunch of pieces that are all kind of floating unfinished together at the same time. Like that for me is a little too much. I almost can't even see it anymore. You have a very similar reference saved on your phone. Yeah, I wanted to do some like kind of obvious armor. I didn't want to do any like fantasy armor for this. I just kind of wanted to play with a lot of already well thought out designs instead of trying to make up my own. Spend so much time doing that I just sometimes I want just the easy way out when I do stuff that exists. And I just want to draw this guy hanging. What happened to my shoulder? It just got fucked up over time. I don't really even know exactly like what brought it on, but it was just became so bad that I like couldn't sleep. I need to find some other music. This is getting me. Let's find something else. Might as well be the same thing. Can your experience drawing comics add to your skills as a painter? Can the reverse be the case as well? Absolutely. Absolutely. They'll all of these things feed into each other. All of them, all these skills. Storytelling and just design and fundamental drawing ability. I mean, you can't go wrong focusing on that stuff. This makes me want to listen to Yanni's Port of Mystery album. If anybody's familiar, Yanni went down a dark path in the 80s or something, and he just did like this whole weird new age fantasy album. I wonder if we could listen to that without getting the stream taken off. I don't know if Yanni even remembers that album exists. Have you ever designed a font? Yes, I have. The Steve Lichman font is my handwriting. Just like a, shitty handwriting. Just to make it feel a bit more organic. But yeah, that's my handwriting. But the font got kind of fucked up. I have to redo a couple things because for some reason when I moved over to the new computer that I had after doing those books, the spacing and all the things that I had in it, they all got screwed up. Like they're not correct anymore. So I have to kind of redo the font, or at least fix a lot of the stuff that I have with it. Like all the spacing and the letters is off now. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but I have to fix it. This is going to look much cooler when I move back into Credit. Bear with me. What are those goofy shoes? The Sabatons? Do you remember how long your first montage took compared to your most recent with everything you learned? The most recent one I did, I mean, all of my Diablo stuff has been montages for the most part. Those take me like a month or like a few weeks or something, depending. It's all that is kind of exaggerated because the actual process isn't as long, but it's because I have to go through so much approval for those jobs that it ends up taking that much time. But generally speaking, I'm good for a montage now. I don't know, maybe like 2 weeks or something like that. Maybe. Depends how many characters we're talking about. But they used to take me like, I don't know. I would say like they'd take me like 50% longer back when I was doing them in the beginning. All right, good enough. Save this bad little drawing. And then I'm going to mute my screen. There you go. Open this back up because inevitably you'll see NDA stuff that you ain't supposed to be seeing. So let me make sure that doesn't happen. Almost there. Okay, there it is. Okay. The fun part. Turn the opacity on this layer down even more. A little less than that. Let's put on some Yanni. Hell yeah, Port of Mystery. What album is this? Let's go to the album. Okay, here we go. The Sphinx. Let's do it. When you draw the rib cage, how do you get it to look okay without drawing each rib? You just imply stuff. You gotta get the feeling of the ribs there. I mean, you gotta know like generally what they look like. And then the more that you draw skeletons, the better you get at implying that sort of thing. The same thing with like ornate detail and all that. Like you start to get down like a language for it visually. You hear this? Oh, this isn't from the 80s. This is 1997. Really? Okay, well this 1997 Yanni album has like montage music. It's very funny. I gotta be a little careful. I can feel these bubbles on my hand moving, which you're probably wondering what that means. I burned my hand today, so I have like, I don't know if you can see that. I got like these burn bubbles on my hand there. It doesn't hurt, nothing like that, but I could feel myself doing something with my hand just then, using the Tor box over here, and I felt them move. I was like, please don't burst. How did I burn my hand? It's nothing crazy. I was just making pancakes for my kids and oil splashed on me. That's it. I'm still just starting out in my career. What's usually a telltale sign that a job opportunity through email is real versus fake? I don't want to accidentally ignore a real opportunity. Well, actually talking to them outside of the email is a great way to figure that out. I guess it depends how they want to pay you. Sometimes you can just feel that it's like a little suspect if they're, you know, unwilling to do certain normal things, like how they're going to pay you, what the terms are, how they're asking you to deliver work. Are they paying you ahead of time for stuff, like 50% up front if it's not like a company? Like what's the thing that's weird? I mean, if something feels like too good to be true and you can kind of get a vibe that something's off about the offer, then you're probably right. Unless you have such crazy imposter syndrome that you're like, there's no way anybody loves me. How did you get better at all this? Oh, study every day, draw every day, all day. That's really it. Always make new stuff constantly. I've basically drawn every day for 20 plus years. And the only thing I really am trying to do is get better all the time. This song's so stupid. I love listening to shit like this and then imagining all like middle-aged women at a Yanni concert crying listening to this. It's awesome. How much is all day? Like early on, I would probably draw for like 12 to 16 hours. Nowadays, I just do it from when I start work at like 10 to 4:30, or like 4. I mean, that's about it. This song sucks. It's awesome. I always wonder, like, what's the purpose of soundtracks like this? Or soundtracks, music like this, because, like, it feels like it could only be for, like, a soundtrack. Right? Like, why would this dude just make this? I wouldn't call this easy listening. Maybe it is. It's a challenge listening. I'm getting deep. I had to put my headphones on for full immersion. This is a drawing and a painting. The soundtrack's so stupid. I can't listen to Butterfly Dance right now. Can't do it. Thanks, Lobotomy. Appreciate it. Hey, Mikey. Things are good. Thanks for asking. Or saying. I don't know. I'll answer questions again in a second. I just want to get a chunk of this looking pretty good. This song gets me. I always think of like recently divorced dads and like a Asian tiki bar, getting shit faced, playing live. Where's the chorus? Here. Let's find it. It's not good. This has divorced dad vibes right here. Just a band that never got off the ground. Mm-hmm. Here we go. It's getting away from me. Hello, everybody. Where can you buy the Veil comics? Or a Veil comic? It'll be crowdfunded relatively soon. Ish. Do I dance while I brush my teeth? Sure. Sure. Is this Elden Ring inspired? No. This is just I've been working on fantasy things and, you know, just have it on my brain. So usually what I do is I work all my values in like this, and then I'll take it into Photoshop and I'll do more like painterly type of things to it, because this is more like a I don't know, it's not like a literal drawing, but it's more like a pencil render, I'd say, with like ink wash in there. And then I try to get more like painter looking things in there in Photoshop, and then after that I bring it back in here and do more of this on top, but like painting with the colors that are already there. That's kind of how I've been doing everything lately, and I'm pretty happy with that approach. It's pretty fast. Probably gonna be on here for another like 5-10 minutes and then I'll hop off. Let me open up my this is the comic that I got, just to bring it around one more time. The funding thing will be up relatively soon. I just got to put together the rest, but I showed this at the beginning of the stream. I'll show it here too. This is the comic that I've been working on, that I wrote and drew, and it's just about ready to go. So I'm excited about that. Dangerously close, osmosis. I'm doing good. how do I render like this without reference? It's just all up here. I've just done a lot of light studies and things, and been drawing for a long time and painting, so it's just in my head. Doesn't mean it's perfect, but I can bullshit. If you were a living skeleton, do you think you'd go for the whole rotten rags and armor look, or more of a clean bones aesthetic? I'd be rotten rags and armor. I mean, come on, clean bones. This isn't bad. An hour and a half. We made a decent amount of progress in that time. I'll zoom in on this guy. Yeah, thank you all for hanging out. I'll have another stream next Thursday, same time, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. You can subscribe to the channel. You'll get notified that I'm going to do that stream. And yeah, if you like, you can come hang out again. I'll probably work up like the colors on this or something next time and render it out a bit more. But yeah, this was fun. Thank you all so much for hanging out. I appreciate you all sticking with me when I was all messed up in my back. So, love to you all. Hope you're all well. Hope you've had a good past couple weeks. And yeah, I'll see you. I will see you. And look out for whenever I post up about the comic coming around. Because hopefully I'll be able to run that Kickstarter pretty soon. And get that thing printed. And that'll be a nice big box checked. Then I can do the next thing. All right.